here. You can see my two golfers here. So I'm just going to play two golfers. There's three ways to play this game. You can do a quick play, which gives you one roll for the round. You can do hole by hole or shot by shot. And I'm pretty sure you can combine all three modes if you want. So you could play, a couple of rounds in a quick play, and then play, round 3 hole by hole, and then get into round 4 and go shot by shot if you like. I'm pretty sure there's no punishing you or any kind of detriment at all to playing any of the modes or combining the modes. Okay, so all right, so now I'm just making sure I'm on. Okay, I'm good. Sorry about that. Just like to check. Okay. First things first. I played the quick play and the hole by hole, and that's what I'm going to show off today. Okay, I haven't done the shot by shot yet, so that'll be in a future video, but I did want to get this up to show you how fun this is. So I have Nick Price and Greg Norman. You see, ATG is the all-time golfer, so I got the all-time golfer bundle, which came with some courses, all the charts, and the whole bit. It was $20. It was a great deal. And I got the 2 expansions, which got me more of the modern golfers, and in each expansion is 5 more courses. Okay, so when you get the player cards, you get 2 sets of player cards. You get the hole by hole player card and the shot by shot. So I have 2 Nick Price cards and 2 Greg Norman cards, 1 for each style of play. Now on the hole by hole also gives you the quick play too at the bottom. So you get the quick round and the hole by hole in the same card. The same with the courses over here. So you can see this right here. This is the TPC Sawgrass. This is the quick play. This is the 1 roll quick play card. Over here, you see these are the hole by hole cards for TPC Sawgrass. And then there's a whole nother set for the TPC Sawgrass, say that 3 times fast, shot by shot. So you get a ton of these cards, and you can print them out. I printed out them here. So I got the little fuzzy Zeller card that I printed out, and the whole cards are the same size. Again, you can enlarge them if you want, or put them on the screen here, whatever you want to do. But that's about the size of the actual card if you're playing on your desktop. So let's get going here and play a little bit. So let's start off with a quick play round first, because that's the simplest, okay? How this game plays out is half the time you're reading from the player card and half the time you're reading from the hole card, okay? The lower numbers are read from the player card, the higher numbers are read on the hole card. Occasionally, you might roll an epic here, or a trouble, or a check the deck, okay? If you get epic or trouble, you go to this little chart here, and you roll to figure out what it is. In fact, it's a roll of 1 to 100. So if you can see over here under my roll, most everything is a 0 to 1,000 roll, or 1 to 1,000 roll, but occasionally need the 100 roll, so I have it set up to have both all squared away for me. So if you needed to check the trouble chart or the epic chart, it's a 1 to 100 roll, so you have that roll all set. There's also the digging deep factor, which I'm still learning, but it looks like here that I have 4 digging deep tries with Nick Price and 6 digging deep tries with Greg Norman. And from digging deep, instead of reading from the normal side over here, okay, or the card, your 1 to 1,000 is here right on your card. So you would use a digging deep point, and then you got a little bit better chance of getting a birdie or something like that. And it shows you when you can use it. So he can use it on Saturday, Sunday on the par 4s and 5s. Greg Norman can use it anytime before the cut. Saturday and Sunday, he can use it anytime. So Greg Norman can use it at any time. You can see we have some abilities here. Driver, approach, putter, and injury on both. So that comes into play as well. So let's get going here. So let's just do a quick play round. So we're going to do Nick Price first. And again, the quick play is 1 roll. So it's a quick play here is 1 to 50 on the card and 51 to 100 here. So we're going to use the bottom numbers here. So this is going to be Nick Price. So it's a 97. So we go to the Sawgrass quick play card right here. And a 97 is not good. So he does a 76. So if we were keeping score, Nick Price would get a 76 for the round. So we're going to roll again. A 50. So we go to Greg Norman, a 50. Oh, this is trouble. So as you can see, the quick round, 50 is trouble. So now we're going to go to the trouble quick play chart. And this is not going to be good whatsoever. It's a 1 to 100 roll. And 97, oh boy, it's a 76 plus X. So he would get a 76 plus roll one die, and I believe it's a 10-sided die. Oh boy, so we would get a 76 and 9 if I take the first number. So he would get an 85. So that is terrible. So he's in trouble. So that's how the first round would go. Now we'll roll a second round for fun. So here's Nick Price's roll, and he gets a 3. A 3 is epic. Oh, good. We're seeing a lot of variations here. So we go to our epic quick play chart, and we roll again, and it's a 44. And so he has a 68 minus X. Okay, so we would roll a 68. I'll roll the dice. So 68 minus 9, if that's even possibly 59. So that it would be completely epic if that's the case. And I believe we're subtracting from a 10-sided die. I think that's what they use in this game. So yeah, so that would be unbelievable round for Nick Price if that's what he indeed got, because the total yardage here is this. What is the par 72? So if that was, what I say, a 58 or a 59, that would be insane. But that would be an epic round. So then we'll roll again. Now an 08 for Norman on the quick play would be down here, and he would have a 67. So that's actually pretty good. So that gives you an idea on the quick play. So this is the quick play card right here. And again, we didn't need to go to the card. We actually everything was played off the player cards for the most part in this one. So that's how you would do the quick play style of play. You roll the dice. It's 1 to 100. You got your quick round down below here on the player card. If it's above a 50, you come over here to see what you're going to look at. And that's how you do your quick play round. So let's get rid of this. All right, so we're going to get rid of that. And now we're going to move to hole by hole. So this is where now we're going to roll the top dice here, the red, white, and blue dice, because we need to get a number from 1 to 1,000. So here we go. So we're going to roll. 334 for Nick Price. So 334 would be off of his card. And 334 is right here, 126 to 340. So that is a par. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, hole number 1 here is a par 4. So he gets a 4. Okay. Now Greg Norman's going to roll here on hole 1 at Sawgrass. 876, we go to the hole card. So 876, bogey if the approach is B+, okay, or better. So Norman's approach is A, so that's good, because if it wasn't a bogey, actually, let me see, bogey, approach, yeah, am I correct here? 876, yeah, bogey if approach is B+, so he gets a bogey because he's above a B+. If it was anything less than that, you add a stroke, which is not good. So he gets a bogey here, so he gets a 5 here on the par 4. So let's go to hole 2 right now for Price. Price rolls a 588. So 588 is over 500, so we're going to go to hole 2, which is down here. So 588 is a birdie if approach is A- or better. His approach is a C, so he doesn't get the birdie, he gets a par. So it's a par 5, so he will get a 5. Okay, and you can see I have the totals running here at the end of the round so we can keep track of it. So now it's Norman. He rolls a 207, so he'll read off of his own card, and that is a par. 207 falls in the par, so it's a par 5, so he gets a 5. So after 2 holes, Nick Price leads by 1 shot. So let's go to the 3rd hole now, and Price will roll on hole number 3, a 55. 55 is a bogey on 3. So BO is a bogey if it's 3. Otherwise, it's a par. So bogey on 3. So it is a par 3. So he gets a bogey. So he will get a 4 on that one. So now Norman with a chance. If he can get a par or better, he'll tie the matchup. 763. So we read from hole number 3. 763. Par if putting is C+ or better. So his putting is C-, so it is not. So it's not a par. He gets a bogey as well, so he gets a 4 here on the par 3. So it's still a one-shot lead for Price. So let's go down to hole 4 right now. Nick Price on hole 4, 594. We read off the card. 594. Birdie if the putting is C plus or better. The putting is C plus or better. So on a 594, let's just double check that. That is a birdie here on par 4. So Price with the bird on 4. So it puts a little pressure on Norman now. Okay, Norman, we're gonna go dig deep now. Okay, he's trailing a little bit, so we're gonna have him dig deep. So we're gonna read off of this chart right here. Okay, so we're gonna use one digging deep point. Let's see how this goes. So a 330 is a par off of digging deep. So a par on par 4 is a 4. So that didn't work out too well for him. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that's how digging deep works. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I'm pretty sure you just read off of this chart here. It keeps you off the chart of the hole, which I don't think you want to be on. All right, so we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, so we're going to get rid of this, and now we got hole 5, 6, 7, and 8 coming up. So hole 5, we're going to roll. And a 915 for Price, so we go to hole 5, and 915 that's going to be check the deck. Okay, so now we're going to go to check the deck. So I have my deck here. So this is how we're going to check it. So 915, approach check A. Okay, so we got to check his approach check. If pass, subtract 1 stroke from the hole. Disregard if it's a hole in 1 or a birdie on a 3 or an eagle or blah, 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 blah. Okay, so approach check A. Let's do the approach check. He's got approach check C. Okay, so that doesn't come into play for Price at all, this one here. Okay, if failed, add 1 stroke to the final score of this hole. So he fails the check, so now we re-roll and we add 1 stroke to whatever he gets here. So a 140 would be a par, but bump that up to a bogey here on 5. And so he gets a 5 on this hole. So now Norman with a chance to get back in the game. A 976 here on hole 5. And 976, he's got to check the deck too. So let's go to 976, which is this one right here. I'm just going to put it below the roll here. For the remainder of the round, this golfer has a putting rating of A+. Wow. Wow, nerves of steel. That is a terrific roll. So Norman, let me just put that in here so I remember. So his putting, where's his putting? It would be right about there. So his putting is A+ for the rest of the round. So any kind of checks on a putt would be A+. In fact, let me move his card over here. So putting is now A+ for Greg Norman. So we still got to roll for the hole. It's a 650 here on the 5th hole. Let me put these in bold here so I know what we have. So these are the hole numbers, just so I don't get confused. So we're on the 5th hole here, so it's a 650 on hole 5. And that is a par if driving is A- or better. His driving is B, so it's not. So that would be a bogey as well. So he's going to get a 5. So after all that, he's a 5, but he's got A+ putting for the rest of the tourney. So, hole 6 now, as we go hole by hole here for Nick Price, 174. That is just going to be a nice and easy par here on hole 6, which is a par 4. And here we go. Rolling now for Greg Norman, 316. We'll read off of his card, and that is a par as well for Greg Norman. So they each got 4. So it's still a 2-stroke game, as Nick Price got the 4 and the 3 as he's beating Norman here through 6 holes. So hole 7, we roll 392. 392 is a bogey on a par 4. Otherwise, it's a par. So let's take a look at hole 7. It is a par 4. So we go back here. So yes, so it's a bogey on a 4. So he gets a 5. And now it's going to be Norman now. And Norman's going to dig deep again. He wants to catch up here. So we're going to dig deep. So we're going to roll just on his card. 101 is a birdie on 4. And because hole 7 is a par 4, he gets a birdie on 4. So the Diggin Deep comes through with a bird, and that ties the match up here. Fantastic. So that actually works out well. So I'm getting a feel now how the Diggin Deep works. So excuse me one second. Got my afternoon coffee going here. Hole 8, we're all knotted up after hole 8, and you can see how this game is kind of fun. It flows better when you're not explaining it, which I do in the videos, but if you were playing by yourself, it plays pretty quick, and it's really fun. And again, at any time, you can switch over to shot by shot, and I'll do that in another video, but I just wanted to show you here the hole by hole, which I'm finding to be really fun. And simple, too. It's either you read off the player card, the hole card, or one of the charts, and maybe a second roll to determine something else, but it's pretty fun. All right, so 926. Ooh, boy. 926 on... Okay, so that was hole 7, so we need to get rid of this, okay? So we need to get rid of this. Go to hole 8. There we go. Okay, 926 on hole 8. Check the deck. We need to check the deck on a 926. So 926 is over here. Approach check C+. So let's check the approach check C+. No, he's got an approach check of C. So if passed, but if failed, add 1 stroke. So we need to add a stroke to hole 8 for Nick Price because he did not pass the check. Hole 8, 487. So we go back to his card. A bogey, if it's a 5, it is not a 5, so it's a par, but we add the 1 because of the card check, so this 3 here on 8 becomes a 4. So he bogeyed the hole because of the card check. So let's roll for Norman now. A 499 here on 8, so we stick with his card. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. So we go to our trouble chart. Okay, and now this is when we get the 64 here. That's our 1 to 100 roll. So a 64, he's in the sand. So he's going to re-roll and add a stroke because he went into the beach. Okay, so that's how that worked. So we're going to re-roll here on 8 and add a stroke. A 299 will be on his card. And let's see. Did I do that right? I think I did. 299. Right here. So par, but he had the stroke for being in the sand. So on hole number 8, which is a 3, he's going to get a 4. So both players got a 4. So let's go to 9. 746 on hole 9. We'll read off of the hole card. And that's a par if his approach is A or better. His approach is a C, so that's a bogey. So hole 9 is a par 5, so he picks up a 6. And his total score is 40 for the first 9. Greg Norman now will roll. Here on hole 9, he'll read from his own card. A 106 is a birdie on a par 4, but it's not a par 4, it's a par 5, so that does not come into play, so he just gets a par on the 5. So Norman has come back thanks to Diggin Deep, and he leads this by 1 stroke. So now let's go to hole 10. So Nick Price, I know you're supposed to alternate for the better shots, but just for the demonstration of the video, I'm just going to use Nick Price teeing off first all the time. It makes it easier. So Nick Price rolls a 220, and that's a par on hole 10, which is a par 4. So we're going to put a 4 here. And now we're going to roll for Norman. Hey, Al Red Sox fan, I'm playing some Diggin Deep Golf today, showing off the hole-by-hole play. If you don't have this game, you got to get it now because they are closing the doors this weekend. And this is a really fun game. I'm enjoying it immensely. And I haven't even played shot by shot yet. I'm only playing the hole by hole right now. So a 251 for Greg Nolan. We'll read off of his card, and that is a par on the 10th hole. The 10th hole is a par 4, so he gets a 4. And he still has a 1-shot lead over Nick Price. Okay, back from the coffee break. Oh, boy, go away. Okay, 11th hole, hole 11. Let's roll here for Nick Price. A 113. Now, hole 11 is a par 5. So 113 is a par 5. It's a birdie if it's a par 4. It's not. It's a par 5. And so that's just a par. It defaults to a par. So he gets a par 5 on this. Greg Norman now. He's got a one-shot lead here on the 11th. A 158. A 158 is a par for Norman. So he gets a par here on the par 5 11th hole. So let's get rid of this now. You can see I just stacked the images on each other, made it easier. So let's go to hole 12 now. It's still a one-shot lead for Norman as we come down the stretch. Nick Price teeing off. Yes, Al, you can play shot by shot. You can play hole by hole. You can even play a quick round. If you look at the player's card here, it's got a quick round numbers, and I deleted the other card that was here that was the course quick card number. Okay, so what you get is you get all your players hole by hole, and all your players a second card for shot by shot. And then the same with the courses. You get courses cards that are hole by hole, and a whole nother set of course cards which are shot by shot. I haven't done shot by shot yet. I'm just showing off the hole by hole. I want to get this video out today because they are closing down this weekend, as you probably heard. And I think this is a fantastic game that I think you should get if you like golf. So I'm trying to get this video out now. And I haven't done the shot by shot yet. I might get to that later today, but I probably won't get a video up in time before they shut down. But yeah, you can play a one roll for the round, hole by hole, which I'm doing now, or shot by shot. And I believe, like, if I wanted to switch now to shot by shot, I could. I couldn't do the obviously I couldn't do the round by round now because I've already had scores going. But any point you could probably switch between hole by hole and shot by shot. In fact, in the example, in the directions, actually, they had 3 golfers playing shot by shot and 1 playing hole by hole. So you can do that. So let's go now to 12 now as we roll for Nick Price. A 944. So on hole 12. 944, we checked the deck. So we're going to go to the deck for 944. And this is actually right below my camera here, so I don't think you're going to be able to see it. Putting check B+ for Nick Price. So his putting is a C+. So he failed the check. So a 944, which is below me. If pass, subtract 1 from the hole, blah, blah, blah. Add 1 stroke to the final if he doesn't pass. So he didn't pass, so we got to re-roll for Price and add a stroke because he failed the check. So he's going to roll at 800 on 12. 800 is par putt if it's a C or better. He's a C+, so he gets the par, but we add on the 1 stroke from the card check, so a par 4 turns into a 5. So there's a 5, so on the par 4. So if Norman can get a par, he will take a 2-stroke lead. So let's see what Greg Norman does here on 12. 197, so anything below 501 we read from the player card. So 197 falls right here, and he gets the par. So a par here on hole 12, which is a 4. And there we go. Now Price, hole 13, as he tries to claw back in this one. I thought he was winning by 2. That's all right. Here we go. So let's roll. 206 for Price on 13. So this is a par 3. A 206 is a par. So he'll get a 3. Not sure why that went up. Oh, I got this set wrong. No wonder why. That's wrong. So this should be K7, K3, and K7. J7, I'm sorry. K7. That's why the scores are messed up. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so that is K3 and K7. Okay, I had the formula wrong. That's why. Okay. So here we go now. So let me just save that so I don't mess that up again. All right, so now we're going to go to Norman here, who's teeing off here at 13. So 13 is the par 3 we said. It's a 639, so we read off the card of the hole. So 639 is a par if driving is D minus or better. So yeah, he's got a driving of B. So he gets a par here on 3 as well. So he will continue to lead by 2 strokes. There we are. I had the formulas wrong. Okay, so now we go to hole 14, and it's Nick Price teeing off here at 742 on the par 4. So 742 par putt. If a par of putting is B or better, his putting is C+. So he gets a bogey here on the par 4, so he gets a 5. So Price not doing so good now. Norman, 612, so he'll come off the card as well. 612 is a par. If the approach is C, his approach is A, so he gets a par on the par 4. So he'll get a 4, so he'll take a 3-stroke lead here. And time is running out on Price. Price is going to dig deep. He needs to gain a stroke, so he's going to use a digging deep point for Nick Price, and he's going to roll off of this chart exclusively now. 840. 840 is a birdie if it's a par 5. And hole 15, let me get rid of this and get hole 15 up here. It's a par 4. Okay, so 840 off of Diggin Deep is a birdie on 5. It is not a 5, so he defaults to a par on the hole. So here at 15 now, Norman rolls a 662 on 15. We go to the hole card, and that is a par if driving is B+ or better. His driving is B. So it is not a par. It's actually a bogey. So he gets a 5 here. So what usually happens, if you don't pass the check, then you add a stroke. So that was a par. He didn't get the par. He got the bogey. Al, I picked up this game. I got the bundle. The bundle comes with the all-time great golfers. It comes with, I think, 5 courses and then all the instructions and charts. It was $19.99. So the bundle's a great deal. Because they were going out of business, I did pick up the 2 expansions. I think it was the 2014 expansion that came with 5 other courses and a bunch of new golfers. And I picked up the 2015 expansion as well, and that was $20. And or maybe $15. I think the bundles were $15, and that came with 5 more courses. So I think I have the 5 courses that came with the bundle, and then 5 courses on the expansion 1 and 5 courses on the expansion 2. So it's like course pack 2, course pack 3 of what it is. So I think I have 15 courses and a whole bunch of golfers. So 20 for the bundle, and then 15 and 15. So I think it was $50, and I got basically all the golf that they really offer is what I got. Again, it's all the PDF version, so yeah, this is really fun. And how I have it set up here with the cards, just like, clip them out with the snag it there and everything, it does work out. In fact, if I shrank these cards down a little bit, I could probably get 4 golfers here, maybe even 8 if I wanted to, and play 4 or 8 on here. It's very, very flexible game. It's very fun. I'm really enjoying this. When I read the instructions on it, I said I'm gonna like this game. All right, so we got 3 holes left. It's a 2-shot league for Norman, and we need to have a sip of coffee here. Okay, now that should get us through the final 3 holes. Thanks for everybody for tuning in today as I take a look at Digging Deep Golf. And the OG was in the house. Al, Red Sox fan, was in the house. Al, I haven't finished watching that Vikings-Browns game, but I know you must have ran out the clock on that one. There's no way that you lost that one. So I'm hoping to catch a good Al, Red Sox fan football win later on today when I finally sit down and check out that. Let's see here. So Price on 16. So Price, he's going to roll a 376, so that is a bogey if it's a 4. So 16 is a par 5. So he gets lucky here, and we'll just get the par here, the par 5. Norman with a 2-shot lead. He's going to roll here on the 16. 68. Low is usually good. Okay, it is a par 5, 16. This is a birdie on 4. It's not, so he's going to get a par as well. So it's a 5. All right, Price is going to dig deep again. He's got 4 digging deep points. He's going to use his 3rd one today, all in this round. I don't know if it's 4 digging deep points per round or per event. I guess you could probably do whatever you want with that. But I'm going to use 4 today. So this is the 3rd one. So he's going to roll off his digging deep chart, which is his own card. here on 17 par 3. It's a 54. Ooh, look at this. It's a birdie on 3. So he gets the deuce here, and he puts some pressure on Norman here at 17. So Norman now is teeing off on 17th hole here at Sawgrass. The par 3 is 697. We read over here, par if driving is D minus. His driving is B. He passes the check. So he gets a par here on 17 par 3. So we're down to 18 here, folks. Hole 18. Now this is where you could, if I had figured it out how to play shot by shot, this is where you can go shot by shot here on 18 to determine the winner, and that could be really fun. But we're just going to go hole by hole here again. Okay, so yeah, when you get the bundle, you get everything. So if you just spent the $20, I think you get, I think it's 5 courses. I'm not 100% sure, but you get some courses. You get the all-time greats, which is what I have, and then you have all the charts and everything as well. Peter Miller showed me that on their website. I don't know how long it'll be up, so you might want to grab this PDF here. But this is the Digging Deep Check the Chart. Okay, to check the deck chart. I printed out all the cards. They're about, this big. I got them in a little Ziploc baggie here, but these are the cards. So when you need to check the deck, you could flip a card, or if you come here, you get the exact number. Okay, so I'm going to probably save that PDF so I can call that up. It's easier to broadcast instead of grabbing a card and reading it, so you can actually show what's going on. But yeah, the bundle comes with everything for $20, and I just got the expansions because, if they're going away and I really like this game, I would want more courses to play. So that's why I got the bundle and the 2 expansions. So again, it was $50. I think I got the Light the Lamp hockey game too. I'm a sucker for hockey games. It wasn't that expensive, so I think I spent another $20 or $25 on the hockey there as well. So anyway, so hole 18. Here at Sawgrass, it is a par 4, 447 yards. We have some sand, water, and trees in the way. And we're going hole by hole here. Nick Price trails by a stroke. He's going to dig deep one more time here on the par 4. 763. 763. Ooh, it's a birdie if it's a par 5, but it's not. It's a par 4, so he's going to get a par, and so he'll get a 4. So Norman now, on the par 4, he just needs to par this. So he's going to dig deep as well. He's going to go with the digging deep point. And he's going to roll a 4-4-5, which is right here. So that is a par. So he gets a 4. And yeah, so congrats to Greg Norman, who squeaks this out. He fell behind early. As you see, hole number 1, he bogeyed that one. And he fell behind. But he came all the way back, and he wins this over Nick Price by 1 stroke. So that is a quick look at Diggin Deep Golf. This is fun. It's easy to play. It's easy to follow. There's a little bit of variety with the Digging Deep charts. In fact, we got into trouble one time. We had an epic chart, I think, when we played the quick round. So yeah, it's got a little bit of variation, but most of the stuff is done right from either the player cards or the hole cards. And it's really fun. So I'm going to go jump into some shot by shot offline right now and try to figure that out, because that's a little more involved than the hole by hole. But this gives you an idea on how this game plays and what you'd be looking at. And I really like it. I do. Let me see. Any more questions in the chat while I'm here? Yeah. I think I answered that question about the ebook. Yeah, you get the gameplay charts and cards and everything you need to play, all the golfers, the whole bit. And I think I printed out both sets. Again, you get 2 sets of cards for players and 2 sets of cards for the courses, okay, because you need hole by hole and you need shot by shot. And if you can see right here on the card right here, it says hole by hole, and over here as well, all-time greats, hole by hole. So you need to use the hole by hole player cards with the hole by hole course cards is what you need to do. Is how you do it. No, I didn't see any bundles for other sports either. This is the only one I saw the bundle for, but the bundle makes sense because you get the all-time greats, so that's what you want to get, your Palmer and your Nicklaus and your Normans and the whole bit. So you want to get the bundle for sure, and that comes with courses and that comes with everything there. So the bundle is the way to go for $19.99. So if you get anything, get the golf bundle, $19.99. And then, like I said, the expansions are up to you. I put them in the cart and I took them out, and I put them in and took them out, and I find, you know something, if I don't get them now, then I'll never get them. So I spent the $30 and I got the expansion, both expansions. So I have a bunch of courses and more golfers as well. So that way there I have them because I'll never be able to get them again, I'm pretty sure. I got Light the Lamp, and they had a couple of seasons. I think they had a 70s and an 80s seasons that I got. I'm not sure how many seasons. I didn't get many seasons with that. But I got the Light the Lamp hockey. I didn't get the Diggin Deep hockey. I don't know why. I probably should. I probably should go back and check into that, because if I like this, a lot of times these games play the same. If I like this, I might like Diggin Deep hockey. I really might. So I might go back and check that out this afternoon and investigate that a little bit more. But anyway, this is Diggin Deep Golf. That website you can get it from is diggindeepsports.com. Go check them out, diggindeepsports.com. A lot of fun, this game. It's just really easy to play. And, you know, it's one of these games you can actually sit down with someone too. You know, sitting down, you know, hang around the house and just, you know, whip out these cards, pick a golfer and play in each role for your own guy, and that could be fun too. Or you could just play solo like I did and have a little tournament. But I could see myself having a lot of fun with this game. Golf is a very relaxing game for me. Not to play in real life, but to play here. You know, I do a lot of the action PC golf, which is fun. But this is just as fun, rolling the dice here. This ball roller thing over here, this makes a world of difference. You get this set up, and, you know, you can really, it saves a lot of time, this ball roller thing, which is really fun. So anyway, let me see. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Yeah, Diggin Deep Golf. Go get it. Hurry. I'm going to go check out Diggin Deep Hockey now. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.